Welcome po sa Kabayan in Kuwait. Huwag kalimutan mag-like, comment and subscribe. Maraming salamat po.
Life can be expensive at the best of times, but in the midst of a pandemic, when jobs and salaries are affected and times are hard, saving money can be incredibly difficult to do. But don't panic.
There's really no need,
Because there are lots of ways you can actually cut your costs that you might not know about.
not only can you do a few things yourself, but there are people out there who realize their customers' plights and are willing to help. In this piece, we'll take you through ways you can save money during a pandemic. If you're a smoker who's been wanting to stop for some time and you're struggling for funds due to a lack of work or a decrease in salary, why not use your situation as the ideal motivation to stop?
Regardless of how much you smoke, whether it's 1 cigarette per day or 40 cigarettes per day, the long-term savings you make by stopping will be monumental. Use your time to focus on something else when you would normally smoke. You can do it. When you're eating or preparing food, what's the first thing you tend to do when there's a little bit left over? You throw it in the trash, right?
Stop doing that. If you're chopping vegetables or preparing rice and there's some left over that you aren't going to use, keep it to one side to throw in a stew later. If you don't eat all of your meat, give it to your dog as a nice treat for his/her next meal. Essentially, when you're about to throw food away, ask yourself if that could be consumed at a later time.
Just because it's not going to be eaten there and then doesn't necessarily mean it's no good. Watch what you eat. Being stuck in the house for more time than you usually are can make it tempting to order more takeaways, but you should avoid takeaways completely if you're struggling for cash during a pandemic.
It's far cheaper to buy and make your own food and it'll pass the time more efficiently if you do that as well.
More to the point, look for cheaper options when it comes to buying food in supermarkets these days. It's easy to find food of equal quality to the more expensive brands for a much cheaper price. We love our pets, and rightly so, because animals are amazing and they're especially important when it comes to providing us with company in the midst of a pandemic. But while times are hard, go a little easier when it comes to spending money on them. Sure, we love gifting them with toys and treats, but dogs, cats and other animals will love you just as much if you provide them with the basics: food, love and shelter, especially if it's only for the duration of the crisis.
Are you making the most of your currently television deal?
Do you honestly need all of the stations you have available to you?
If not, why not look at a cheaper deal that only provides you with the channels you actually watch? Granted, you're likely to watch more TV than usual during a pandemic, but do you really need that channel about poker or the one about fishing? Really?
We thought not. On a strongly related note to the previous point, have a look around for deals that bundle your phone and internet services into one cheaper package if you're not already doing it, that is.
These days, it really makes no sense to pay separately for phone and internet at the best of times, let alone during a crisis. Given how useful the internet is in the midst of a pandemic, it provides news on the situation, allows people to remain in face-to-face contact with loved ones, and enables shopping from the comfort of your own home. The last thing you want is to be disconnected from it.
So, if you're concerned about paying your home internet bills, give your provider a call and talk to them. Several of them are offering payment flexibility to customers whose income has decreased. While there's no official widespread waiving or extending property tax deadlines to struggling homeowners, that certainly doesn't mean you can't or shouldn't reach out to ask for some form of relief. Try contacting your local tax office to explain your own specific circumstances and see if they'll do a deal with you. Of course, you'll still have to pay them eventually, much like your mortgage, but you might get a little respite in your time of need.
In the middle of a crisis, the last thing you want or need is having utilities like your lights and water turned off, and thankfully, a number of utility companies are making sure that won't happen, even in the absence of customer payment in these trying times. If it is a concern for you,
however, give your utility providers a call to request deferment on your current payments or the possibility of getting on a payment plan.
If you're worried about paying your mortgage, never fear.
Countless lenders are offering lenience to their customers in these trying times, so talk to them about the possibility of either lowering your payments until things get better, or even about the possibility of pausing your payments completely until you're able to afford them again.